His audio is getting ready to come on.
Okay.
There.
Hey, there he is.
Got to fix your audio. That's all, Jack. Unmute your audio.
Continue.
Unmute your audio if you can, Jack.
Hi, Jack. How you doing? There he is. You just have to unmute your microphone, Jack.
Find it. Give him a chance.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
There he is. Oh my
Hey,
God.
hi, Jack.
Mr.
How are you?
Magnificent. Oh my God. We got an intro, Jack. I'm going to do an intro. I'm going to play an intro and then we're going to bring you on. Okay, Jack?
Okay.
Wonderful. All right, here we go with the intro, guys.
Tony Bennett with my favorite DJ, Jimmy Diele.
And my favorite DJ as well, Jimmy Diele. I'm Doc G from Hamilton Radio and Jimmy Diele. I want to welcome the legendary and iconic Jack Jones, artist and musician and wonderful singer. Welcome, Jack.
And legend and own mind.
Great to see you,
my
Jack.
friend.
Good to see you.
Congratulations on your brand new album. Every Other Day I Have the Blues. Tell us about putting this album together and what did it take? I mean, it took so long in your career to put this together. Are you a big blues album fan, big blues fan?
Oh, I'm a big blues fan, jazz fan, everything else. I was most of my recording life, I was a closet jazz singer.
Really?
And Dave Kapp, who was my first producer and mentor, he kept saying, stop deviating from the melody, just sing the melody, don't sing anything else, and you'll have a hit. And he was right. I had a hit with Lollipops and Roses, which you probably don't remember, but a long time ago, 1961.
Absolutely beautiful song.
And so I learned my lesson, and then I did Wives and Lovers, and that became a hit. And I think it's the only jazz waltz that ever was a hit. What am I looking at now? I'm looking at something came up with Facebook.
All these little pictures.
Yeah, it just drives me nuts.
There we go. You know, I also wanted to ask you about working with Tom Scott on the album. How was it working with Tom and putting the album together with him?
Oh, we had a great time. And he was one of my idols, you know. He's a little younger than I am, but I'm getting, you're not hearing what I'm hearing, right? Somebody's asking me to join a meeting. Unbelievable.
Who's asking you to?
Okay, forget it. So anyway, but I never deviated from the melody, and Impossible Dream was a hit. I didn't want to do that, but they made me do it, and thank God.
Right.
You know,
you've done more than 60 albums in your career, everything from classic to pop to country, but this is your first blues album. I mean, that's so awesome.
Well, it just something that we wanted to do, and Tom is great at doing anything, you know. But we did that, but the thing that inspired us was the song itself, written by Dave Tull, who was a wonderful drummer as well as a singer. He was Barbara Streisand's drummer, and still is, if she wants to go back to work, and. So he wrote this thing because he overheard somebody complaining about something, and it struck him funny. And the guy was a wealthy guy, and he was complaining about, you know, the servants are making noise when I'm trying to do my nap, and my Ferrari, they won't return to my Ferrari in time, stuff like that. So it struck me funny, and I loved it. So we did it. And he wrote that.
Yeah, so it's like an upscale blues album when you listen to it, because it's really an upscale guy with a Ferrari and a mansion and servants, and it's such a great song.
Well, it's actually a comment on the whole philosophy of Joe Williams. Who was a very dear friend of mine. That's another reason I wanted to do it. We also mention him in the song. And it's just a funny song, and so many of us who are lucky to have nice things, we do complain a little too much. I do.
Right. Now, the album, it was recorded at Capitol Records, right? And it's available on CD and all digital music.
That's right. And we did another album, which will be out later, which is with a huge orchestra. They wouldn't, because of COVID, they wouldn't let us do it. Too many people in one room.
Oh, wow.
So we
And
had to go
Doc, what do you have for Jack Jones for us?
I got to ask you that kind of question, Jack. How did you come to sing the song for Love Boat? Because that is the iconic song that everybody knows you from.
Well, that was really a lucky streak, a lucky break. Paul Williams was about to record it for the show, and he called me and he said, "Would you do this?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd be very happy. I'm really glad you asked me, but I got to tell you, I don't know who's going to watch a show about a cruise ship." Brains, right? Brains. So, and we became very good friends after that. And it's been very good. But it's allowed me to be heard by more people than I probably would have been heard by.
Right. And you also appeared on the Love Boat, right, with your dad?
I did. I wrote the story. And the only time my dad and I ever did anything like that together, and it was about a father and son who had an act together, which my father and I did at one time. And so I left the act and went on my own, and my father didn't speak to me anymore. So the wives, it's not in real life, the wives got together and set up this cruise, and didn't tell either one that it was going to happen, that we were going to be together. And so we had to run into each other in order to speak.
Wow. Now, you and your dad started right back in the late 50s, right, at the Frontier Hotel in Las Vegas, right? Tell us about that.
We started at the Thunderbird.
Oh, the Thunderbird. Okay.
Well, he was still a Vegas star then.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And so he had let me be in his act. He wanted me to see if I liked being on stage. I was only 19 years old.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, I know you did Vegas a lot of times. In fact, I was just talking to a friend of mine who lives out in Las Vegas, and he says, Jack is always here. He says, is he coming out here anytime soon? And I said, I don't know. We'll ask him. I don't know. So
how's the weather back there?
It's actually very, well, I'm in New York, and Doc is in New Jersey, and it's actually cold and rainy here in New York right now. So what about you, Doc?
Same here. Jack, they said you had your big start in the 60s. I was born in 61. Can you tell me a little bit about that time when you started out?
You were born when I started, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I was in the Air Force in basic training, and I had just before I had to go in, I was hooked up with Dave Cap and the label Cap Records, but I had to go into basic training. So we had 2 weeks leave after I got out of basic to continue my 6 months. I was on the 6-month active duty program, and I was for 8.5 years. I was in the reserve. And so during that 2 weeks, we went into the studio and recorded an album which was called This Was My Love, which Lollipops and Roses was on. It was the last song you would have thought of that would have been a hit, but Boston liked it a lot. And so they encouraged us to put it out as a full single, which we did. And we had to just shorten up the intro, that's all. It's very complicated. The way we shorten the intro, you're gonna love it. You're gonna cut this out of this interview. But we shortened it by, we had nothing to work with like we do today. We turned the tape upside down, and we dubbed it off. And when we got to the end of what is used to be the beginning. We got to the end of that. We dimmed it, turned it down, and we give it a fade. And so when you turn this tape right side up, the intro faded in. And that's why the only way we could put the record out. Now, did you learn anything, boys and girls? Who cares?
It's always a learning experience when we have people like you here, because you guys, you tell us so much, and you bring back a lot of the things that, before digital took over, really.
It looks like I'm going to have to bring back CDs already.
Well, the
Yeah,
return of the record albums, but go ahead, Jim.
Of course. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the Judy Garland show. I mean, you did her Christmas show. You did shows with her. What was it like to work with Judy and being on the show with her, Jack?
It was a dream. She was a fabulous lady. She just loved to sing, and she loved my singing, and she loved Mel Torme singing. And Mel Torme was a writer on the show, and we wound up singing it together, and it was just a wonderful time. She had her. I'll never forget. It was time to start the show, and they did everything to make it fun for her, and they painted from her trailer, her dressing room. They painted a yellow brick road to the stage. And in this case, she didn't want to get on it, and she didn't want to start the show. She said, so all these agents were crowded around her in the dressing room saying, "Judy, you got to go on. You got to go on." And she said, I can't. And so somebody said, play her music. So Mort Stevens started the conductor, and she heard that. She said, "I'm on," and she ran out the door and started the show. She was a character.
Wow. Another one of your good friends was Andy Williams, right? Didn't you? You had a nice relationship with Andy Williams. You did a lot of stuff on his show. Tell us about that.
Well, we were two boy singers who were really rivals, and but he had his show, and I was happy to be on it, and we made sport of the whole idea of the two singers, and it was good. But we did duets together, and he did one thing where he said, putting me on in front of the entire home audience, he said, "Jack, anybody in the studio here, has everybody heard of Jack Jones?" And he goes, one lady raised her hand, and I kind of looked down, and he said, "That's enough, Mom. Thanks very much." So, he would do that stuff, and we had a great time together.
Wow. I want to talk a little bit about your dad.
But singing with him was really, really fun. We really had, if you ever get a chance to see that, it's really, really great.
That stuff on YouTube, Jack, by the way?
There's so much stuff on YouTube, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And I was not a fan of YouTube when it started, because they were posting things like, I was at the Palladium in London, and somebody was underneath me in the front row shooting up my nose. And I thought, no, this isn't going to work, but it has evolved into what it is now. And there's so many things on there that wouldn't have been seen that I did. And so many people of a lot of generations can see what my work has been all my life. It's been such a hard job.
But you're an incredible artist. Hey, when you did your CD with Jack Jones Paints a Tribute to Tony Bennett, where you just had Tony Bennett do the tribute, can you give us a little bit about that? How you got to meet him and, started it?
Well, he and I have been friends from way back. And we were friends in spite of show business. We just used to talk on the phone all the time. Same thing with Peggy Lee. We had that kind of relationship. And so I decided, it was at Frank Sinatra's funeral. And after the ceremony, we were all milling around the room. And Tony said, hey, Jack, what are you doing next? I said, oddly enough, I'm doing a tribute to you. He said, well, let me do the cover. I said, would you do that? And so I get a call in about a week. He's in London at the Dorchester Hotel. And he says, what color are your eyes? And I said, hazel. He said, okay. And he hung up. And so he painted this wonderful picture, which is on my website. It didn't make it in time for the Grammys. So the record label I was with, which was incidentally called Honest Entertainment Records. And before that, I was with Fulton Imran. So we did this album, but it didn't get to us in time to do the cover. So I had to get somebody else to do the cover, and so it took me a long time to explain that to Tony, but it just didn't get here. But the cover was nice. He liked it. And if anybody wants to see the cover, it's on my site where I have a lot of product on there. It's called jackjonesmusicstore.com.
So great.
Well, that drew a silence.
We want to make sure everybody goes to your website and picks up those CDs, and you can also get autographed pictures. You have so much on that website. You know your Christmas album. I love your Christmas album. I play it every year in my house. I love all your music, Jack.
Oh, thank you very much.
Always been a very big fan of yours. And also, talking about Frank Sinatra, I know you had a good relationship with Frank Sinatra. And you get a call to do Call Me Irresponsible, written by Jimmy Van Heusen and Sammy Kahn. First released by Frank Sinatra. Tell us about recording that song and what was Frank's reaction to that song?
You mean to me doing it?
Yes.
He had me killed. No. No. He was a wonderful man, and he didn't have to worry about me. But Sammy Kahn and Jimmy Van Heusen were in Sammy's house, and they called me and they said, could you come over? We'd like to talk to you. So I did. I went over and they played me this record. And it's from a movie, Papa's Delicate Condition, with Jackie Gleason. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's beautiful, but you already have a boy singer there. It was Frank. And they said, yeah, but we he played a bum, and he sang it like a bum, and he's a great actor, which was a great performance. But the song was about a bum. Hey, bum, stop drinking, get a job, that kind of guy. And exactly. So they recorded me, and they said, we want a more naive sound. And so I said, well, I can give you that. And we did it, and it became a hit as well as Frank. We both had hits on it.
Wow.
Same thing happened with Andy Williams. We both had hits on the Dear Heart.
Nice. And then also you recorded a tribute album to Frank Sinatra called Seriously Frank, which you did some awesome songs on there. The Best Is Yet to Come, The Lady Is a Tramp, yeah. All or Nothing at All. Tell us about putting that together.
Well, it was, you're almost embarrassed to do it. I felt I had to do it. And then I thought, why did I do that? Because you can't sing those songs. They're just too joined to him, But I did the best I could out. It's okay. People like it, We'll release it again on his next birthday. I don't know.
Jack, I wanted to ask you about your Don Quixote in the Mano La Mancha that you did. I didn't know you did Broadway or anything like that. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
It's too bad you guys didn't do any research. Yeah, that's another wonderful time of my life. I went on the road with the show for a season, and my father had done it in the Straw Hat Circuit, and he actually got the Straw Hat Award for it.
Wow.
And Archie Leach gave him the award, and who that is? Cary Grant.
Cary Grant, yeah.
And he was so thrilled that Cary was there to give him that. So anyway, I figured I would never do that. It was his. But long after he passed away, the producer came to me and said, "Would you do this?" I said, "I don't think I should do this." He said, "You really is it?" So I did. It was a wonderful leading lady. We had a great cast, and I really had a great time. And it taught me a lot. I used to have to die on stage every night. So when it happens, I'll be ready, you know? Very dramatic. It was really, really good.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about your dad a little bit. Alan Jones was one of the first entertainers also to perform for the troops overseas, right? And back in the 40s, around 45, somewhere around there.
He did a lot of USO stuff, yeah.
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 And he was also in the original Showboat, right? Appeared in shows there and also television shows with the Marx Brothers, Albert and Costello, right? A lot of great, the old TV shows and with actors.
He was the original Gaylord Ravenel in Showboat.
Wow.
And then Howard Keel did the next one. So, and Howard and I were very good friends. And I got the two of them together. The two Gaylord Ravenels who were, you know, actors are funny, you know, and they always assume that I mean, I always said about the role of Don Quixote, there isn't an actor that doesn't think that he was the definitive Don Quixote. You know, that's the way we are. But so I got them together, and they kind of said, "Oh, have dinner together." Okay, I mean, they were reluctant till they did, and they had a great time talking about them. I just sat back and listened.
Wow. We have a question from a listener. He wants to know, what was it like appearing in Airplane 2, the sequel, with actor Robert Hayes?
It was great. And Howard Koch sent me a note, said, "Dear Jack, I'd like you to play this role and sing the song." So then I got the script, and it said, "A broken down singer appears." I said, "Thanks, Howard." It was very funny that it was done because Robert Hayes was running from the police, and he was escaping from the insane asylum, and the spotlight was hitting the wall, and suddenly the spotlight stopped and went back and saw me against the wall in a full tux singing "The Love Boat." You know, very funny moment.
Wow. Now you live right outside, right, Palm Springs, and I know Gavin MacLeod did as well. You probably were good friends with Gavin MacLeod. Right?
Yeah, very, very good friends.
Yeah. And I know you did the Love Boat reunion. Was that the reunion that ran out of New York? I know, I think it went to the islands. I don't know exactly where it went, but I know you were on that reunion cruise with the cast, right?
Oh yeah, no, we did a reunion cruise down to Mexico.
Down to Mexico, yes.
Yeah, but we did a reunion a Zoom show, which I was a part of just before he died.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was a wonderful man. It was they had a lot of fun.
So awesome! You performed for so many American presidents and the Queen of England. Tell us about that. I mean, that must have been an awesome time for you.
Well, she didn't show up.
She didn't show up, so it was Prince Philip.
Next one.
No, the Queen Mother showed up, though. I got the pictures on the wall.
Yes, I saw that.
And I got pictures. When were you? Were you at the house?
We did a little research.
I see. And so, let's see, but the Queen Mother was there, and then but my dad had the Queen was just there to see my father.
Uh-huh.
But the Queen was busy, so she didn't make it for mine. But it was a wonderful experience. It's just one after the other. It's just great life.
Wow. You did
Yeah.
what, the Kennedy Honors every year? Did you? How many years did you do that exactly?
That was quite a while ago. That was I was just singing for Julie Stein.
Okay.
I sang people who need people, and it was it's a very exciting moment to be in that theater and with all those people that are, not exactly just off the street.
Exactly. And you also
Yeah.
have a wonderful star on the Palm Springs Walk of Fame, which is actually the Walk of Stars. What a great honor for you.
It's a great honor, but I also have one in Hollywood.
And Hollywood as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Go ahead, Doc G.
Oh, in 1976, my time when I was starting to grow up, I saw two shows. One was Macmillan and Policewoman. You were actually in them. What was that like to be in a TV show?
It was a lot of fun. It was I was the red herring. Everybody was supposed to think I did it, and it was just fun. I hadn't done television in that idiom very much, and it was a lot of fun. Then I went on to from there I went on to star in a British horror film.
What was the horror film?
That's the trouble. You had to ask. The horror film was called The Comeback.
Okay.
Ironically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right, because it's one of them things where if you don't know about it, people check it out.
Oh yeah, no. There's a whole horror film audience out there.
Yes, there is.
So
Exactly.
you're. I keep looking over your shoulder. I'm getting thirsty.
I know, me too. I want a cocktail.
I don't drink. It's just I don't drink. It's just it's all what you may call it, the green screen. Go ahead.
Well, you know what? In 1990, Jack, you recorded Three Coins in the Fountain, which was used in the film Three Coins in the Fountain, which was pretty awesome. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that was that whole show was scored by I think it's Willie. He was a sax player. His daughter did it, but he was a sax player in the Glenn Miller band years ago. And then I knew him when he was working with Nelson Riddle, and his daughter. Oh boy, I can't think of. Sorry about that. And so, but it just was a remake and of the play, of the film, and they asked me to sing it.
Awesome.
And I liked it.
You know what's so great about Jack Jones is what I love is no matter what you sing, Jack, what song, no matter what you cover or any type of song, you make it your own song. And that's what's so beautiful about it. I mean, it becomes a Jack Jones song, and it's just
Thank you.
beautiful, really. So awesome. And you also did musical theater, which we talked a little bit about. You did Guys and Dolls, and also South Pacific. I mean, so much great musical theater and stuff. I mean, so you really enjoy doing that stuff.
I did. And the South Pacific, I was depressed because I was right for the role, and most of us don't think of ourselves as being as old as we are. I suddenly said, "Wait a minute, I guess I am."
Jack, did you ever sing any country songs?
Yes, I did. The Race Is On, and had a big hit with it. Written by George.
People are asking.
George, yeah, and I wrote a country song that fortunately you never heard. It's called the San Andreas Fault Ain't No Fault of Mine.
That sounds like something George Strait would write.
It was a funny song, but there wasn't any reason for me to release a funny song.
Oh, that sounds good. It sounds like a good song. What was the melody like? Was it?
Well, the words were about there's a couple together, and they're there was an earthquake in the middle of it. Okay. And so he thought he was really, really great. And it wasn't him, it was the earthquake. That's what the song was about. And so we didn't put it out.
And also back in the early days, you appeared on Hollywood Palace a few times, and you have any great memories of that? And also American Bandstand.
Yeah, did American Bandstand. Hollywood Palace had Joan Crawford, who
Wow.
was introduced me. Let's see, who else? Anyway, Joan Crawford was there when I was born. She lived down the street from my parents, and she decided that she was my godmother,
Mm-hmm.
and because she was there right there after I was born. So I've known her a long time.
So awesome. Good, Doc G.
Jack, are your children in the business? I got from a listener that's listening.
No. My daughter, my youngest daughter, Nicole, made a very wise decision. She said, I said, you don't want to be a singer? She said, and she had a nice voice. She said, no, Dad, all the people that I looked up to were you, Joe Williams, Tony Bennett, Frank Sinatra, and I didn't pay attention to my own, age group. And so I'm not really ready to go out and sing their songs. So she now works for a hospital, and she's also a licensed river guide in Boise, Idaho. And she's happy as a clam.
Nice. You also do so many great videos, Jack. One of my favorite videos, I've seen it actually on YouTube, and it was John Lennon's Imagine and Bette Midler's Far From a Distance. What an awesome video. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's close to my heart. I put the whole thing together. It was really weird because I was playing in England, and somebody caught me with a high definition camera singing Imagine, and what he was really doing is he was taping my show for his father, who was ill and couldn't come and see me. So we talked on the phone. I said, I got a great idea. So I took that live performance, which we're also at that recording audibly on that night, and I put them together, and then I put the video over it, and then I licensed everything. I licensed the clips, and I put that together myself. And I love the end of it when the servicemen are coming home on leave, and they're surprising their kids. Did you ever see that? If you haven't seen it, see it. It's a tearjerker. When at the moment the kids see their fathers after the Father's Minute War, it's fabulous.
Sounds awesome. You also hosted Hullabaloo, and you had your own television specials, Jack Jones on the Move, and the Jack Jones special back in 1974. What a great time that was. Do you have any great memories of those shows?
I do. It was extremely musical. Marty Page, who did a lot of my arranging in those days, did the whole show, and it was really good. And it was old fashioned and wonderful. I see it once in a while, and I go, really. And it was we had one mic over our heads and no overdubbing. And the moment I loved was when Tony Bennett and I we set up this nightclb scene, and it was like I finished the show and I'm going home, and I go into this nightclub, and I sing a song, and Tony Bennett's in the audience, and he says, wait a minute, and he interrupts, and then we get together and we sing together. But he does a beautiful rendition of Last Night When We Were Young, and it's just a great moment to watch once. If I have some friends over, I show that. It's really nice.
Do you have any plans to perform anywhere in the upcoming future? I know it's a bad time with COVID and everything going on.
Crazy, right?
Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to get a definite answer from somebody that it's over. So, and it may never be over. We may have to live with that, but it's we'll
Yeah.
figure out how to do it. You'll get
Jack, I
around.
want to, Jack, I want to say, my good friend Prince Fleet Easton says hi. He's from Vegas. He says he knows you. He met you a couple times. He wanted to just say hi. He's watching us and listening.
What's his name?
Prince Fleet Easton.
Okay.
Yeah.
He does know you.
All right.
Yeah, I believe Prince also has a star on the Palm Springs Walk of Stars as well.
Oh,
We're
good.
gonna interview him someday too. I told him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you've done it all, Jack. Is there anything you want to do that you haven't done in your career? Because you've done just about everything.
We did an album that'll be out this year sometime. That it was with John Clayton arranging, and the name of the album, oddly enough, is Artwork, Art Dash Work, and it's what it is to me and everybody on there, and Joey DiFrancesco is my guest star, and he plays some great jazz organ on it. It's just fantastic, and it's a like a 50 some odd piece orchestra. It's just beautiful. It's like the old what I was supposed to do in the first place. But it's got a lot of jazz overtones, but it's a pretty cool album.
Awesome. And I want everybody to go out and get Every Other Day I Get the Blues. I mean, what an awesome album. And just go to Jack's website and check it out, and you can purchase it there, right, Jack?
They can go out every day and get it.
He says he says he knows you through Gavin McLeod and Joyce Bulifant. He actually sings in his own show, and he's in Palm Springs, not Vegas. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, okay. Then I do know him. I may or don't know my name, but
You know him if you see him. He's a character.
We have a lot of good singers down here.
Yeah. Palm Springs is such a beautiful place.
It really is.
Yeah, I always enjoy visiting there. Also, I want to talk about some of the other movies you did. American Hustle, and also Curse of the Gods. Have any memories of those movies?
You know, well, American Hustle, if you had to go to the bathroom, you miss me. But it was good. We had a good time doing that. It was, and the producer really wanted me to do that for some reason. Just wanted me to do that song. Excuse me. But and then the Cruise of the Gods. It's about a singer who's on a cruise ship and he gets recognized, and all these people want his autograph, and it's all about, you know, that and I had to go to England to do it. It was good. Had fun. No, I went to Greece and shot it.
Oh, wow. Out of all the places you performed, Jack, any special place where you love to perform? I mean, you've done just about everywhere, pretty much.
Back in the day, the Sands was it was designed to be the room that it was. It was great. There are some great halls now that have been built, and people go and sing in. But the one that always remains, and I played it many times, remains my favorite, is the Palladium in London.
Wow, the London Palladium, and you also have an album from there, a live album, right? It's
Right.
Also available on your website, which is a great album, by the way.
Thank you.
And you know, when I first started interviewing people a long time ago, I interviewed Mel Torme, and I know you had a friendship with Mel Torme. Do you have any nice memories of Mel?
Yes, I do. Mel and I were I was a pallbearer at his funeral. I wish I didn't have that to brag about.
Oh, wow.
But I was very moved that I was asked to do that. And that he and I did like three months together on the road. We did a 2-man show, and he just was a great musician, with the best ears I ever heard on any singer. And he said, "Hello, JJ. Hey, JJ, where are you going to go now?" And he used to eat a lot of candy,
Really?
Maltesers. "Hey, JJ, can you give me some Maltesers?" He was great. And on that Judy Garland show, he wrote all the special material. He wrote another. I did another Judy Garland show, and he wrote the whole medley I did of my father's songs and Nelson Eddy and all that ilk. He wrote some great stuff. But there's one moment that this Christmas I pulled out and just played it on its own, and it's just that song, and we did it in harmony with a cappella, and he wrote the harmony, and it's so pure. So next Christmas it'll be there.
So awesome. Doc G, any final thoughts for Jack
Oh,
Jones?
I just wanted to let him know that my friend Prince just wants to come in and say hi. So Jimmy, talk, and I'm going to set this up, and he's just going to come in and say hi to you. He wants to say hi. So I said, okay, no problem.
That's great. Where is he going to come into?
He's coming into our Zoom in just in a minute. Just got to give him a
Right
couple
now.
minutes.
Oh, okay.
Right now. He just wants
That's
to
how
come
he
in
was
and say
coming
hi.
in the house.
No, no, but Jack, by the way, your music
Jack was waiting for the
transcends-
doorbell to ring.
Yeah.
your music transcends every decade. What was your favorite decade?
Oh boy.
It's hard. I know. It's a hard thing.
Anybody would say the next one. It ain't gonna happen. But
Never know.
I don't have a favorite decade.
You don't.
No, I don't. I don't miss the old days and stuff. I just like now, and I won't be singing forever, but as long as I still can sing, I can. I love to do it.
Mm. Have you done the casino there in Palm Springs? I know they have a few casinos there, not too many, but have you played those casinos?
No, I played at McCallum Theater, which I was at one time the spokesperson for, and we love our theater, and we want to keep it going. It's doing great. Well, everything hasn't been doing great because of the virus, but we're coming back now.
So awesome. Well, we hope to get you out here back in this area on the East Coast in New York and New Jersey. It'd be great to see you out here one of these days. So hopefully
I played a little club called the Wishing Well in New Jersey back before anybody really knew who I was, and oh shoot, the comedian came in to see me, and the guy named Manny Semaluka owned it. That was one of the first places I ever worked.
Oh, wow.
And not Secaucus, but somewhere around there.
Wow. So did you ever play any big clubs in New York City, in Manhattan, or anything like that?
My debut was at the Persian Room. Mm-hmm. And then I moved from there to the Copa.
Oh, the Copa! Wow.
Oh yeah. Well, my first job in New York was the living room, and it was very, very small little room, and that's where I started. And then I was lucky enough to get the pianist to go on the road with me. He was Doug Talbot. He was great.
Right.
And then we went from there to the Persian Room and then to the Copa.
Oh, nice.
And then I got to know Jules Badel. And he was a piece of work. He was something.
Wow. So,
Yeah, any books? any books? Excuse me, Jim. Any books are you going to be writing, or about your life, or any biographies or anything like that?
Well, I'm tempted to, and I've got a lot of video on the hard drive that will remind me of where I was and what was going on. I might do that, but
Hey, Jack,
no one is clamoring for it.
my wife wants to say hi. She remembers you. Her name is
Hello.
What? That's a pop. You got a pop-up wife.
literally.
Look like a ghost.
How do you do? Nice to see you.
Hi, nice to
Any
meet
questions for
you.
him?
Hey, what's your name?
I'm Sandy.
Sandy. Where'd you go?
She's right here.
There she is. Yeah. Nice to see you. I couldn't hear. I heard muffled.
But anyway, she remembers all your music too, Jack, and all the the things you've done.
Wow.
Yeah, and I want to say I love Judy Garland, and I watched some of the shows when I was younger. I actually I was following her daughter Lorna, her Facebook page.
Yeah. Lorna was on my knee on that show. And so not too many years ago, we were in a restaurant together, and I said, "Come sit on my knee."
Oh, that's so nice. That is so nice.
Now, okay, you're electronically put into the picture. Where are you?
We're both here. We're both here.
She flashes away every once in a while.
Yeah, that's because of the green screen.
Yeah,
It's all
have to
digital.
stay
It's
still.
all digital.
So
It
that's a
talks-
green screen behind you. Okay.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
green screen. Okay, Jimmy, do you have any questions? I'm still waiting for Prince to come in, and then we got to end the interview soon.
Yes, absolutely. Got to let Jack go. But I wanted to ask him about, he talked about being at the Sands in Las Vegas and, of course, the Thunderbird, he started with his dad. What are your favorite memories of Vegas, Jack? What about at the Sands with Frank Dean and Sammy? Did you have any memories working with them at all? And tell us
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah. So Sammy was another good friend. Dean, I worked with him on his television show. And he was a very, very, he couldn't say anything without being funny. He was a quietly funny man.
Uh-huh.
I worked, well, my father took me to El Rancho, Vegas. And he said, I want you to see Joey Lewis.
Oh, wow.
So I went there because my dad and I were working at the Thunderbird,
Mhm.
just down the street. So he took me over there. And he said, "Now this guy is one of the greatest comedians." And so I went to see him, and he said, "No, I can't do that joke on the radio. I can't do it. I better not do that." So he cut that out. But I wish I could. Anyway, cut that out.
Well, Jack, we're gonna have to end soon anyway. I have another show to do. I'm busy with shows too.
Yeah.
But Prince says he can't get in here, but he did wanted to say he's sorry about that. He doesn't understand what's going on. Maybe his Wi-Fi or something. But want to thank you for coming. And if you can do a sweeper for the station and Jimmy's show, that would be great. Would you like to do one?
Sure.
Okay, just basically say who you are and whatever else you want to say, and just say you're listening to the Jimmy Deal Show on Hamilton Radio.
Well, I just realized God is my light man, and it's moved to it's in red.
Yeah, I see that.
Spotlight's on you, Jack, again.
So,
He's in the celebrity spotlight.
I said, give me the words again. I'll do it.
Yeah, just say who you are and whatever you want to say with that. Just say you're listening to the Jimmy Deal Show on Hamilton Radio.
This is Jack Jones, and you're listening to the Jimmy Deal Show on Hamilton Radio.
So awesome. Thank you so much,
Thank you, my
Jack.
friend.
I appreciate you coming on the show so much. I waited so long for you to be on, and it's so
It's
good
really
talking to you.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
We
And,
really do. We
Yeah,
really
I'm
had
a
a
big
great
fan.
time
I've
with you.
been a big fan of yours for many years, and such an honor to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Jim.
Now you're not using the video on this anywhere, right?
Yeah, we're using a video, sure.
No,
Facebook.
oh, you do that? Because I unfortunately haven't been looking in the camera. It's up there.
Okay.
And
You're
isn't it-
fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
You look great.
Well, I'm not doing it over.
Jack, you're fine. It was a great interview.
I hate to
We
talk about
enjoyed it.
myself.
We enjoyed it. Jimmy and I enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
So
it was the
thank you
best.
for being here. We really
Thanks for
appreciate it.
being. You're a legend in your time, and I really appreciate it, Jack. It's an honor to have you. Really.
You're in a hurry. Thank you. You're in a hurry, but I have another time. I have a story about that legend thing. So
Oh,
Do we
if
have
you
time
got-
for that, Jack?
You got a couple minutes. Go ahead.
I do.
Jack.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jack.
So after I did the Love Boat, the cruise ship called me and they're going to pay money, real money to play, So would you come on because of your Love Boat thing? And so it was the SS Norway. And so I went on the SS Norway, and they gave me what used to be, it was the old Ile de France, and then they had a huge suite at the bottom of the ship. It was beautiful. It was still in the same old decor. And but I found it was hard to go from one place to the other without being stopped. And I wanted to hurry up and get someplace. So I said to the staff captain, I said, can I get a name tag so I look like part of the crew? And so I can go down below decks, because down the guys that work down there, they think I'm a passenger and I shouldn't be there. They keep throwing me out. So let me get it. So I said, okay. So I went down, and they're printing this name tag. Well, what do you want on it? And I said, what's your occupation? I said, just put Jack Jones, legend in own mind. And nobody, they couldn't read it down below. So they just thought I was part of the crew. And that got me. It's kind of a silly little story, but it's
Funny. It's kind of a funny
it's
one
funny.
story.
It's
That's a
funny.
great story. Well, you're not a legend in your own mind. You're a legend to all of us. And
Thank you
thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Yeah.
I
Thank you so
appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jack.
Thanks,
I
guys.
appreciate it so much.
Thanks
Thank you.
again, Jack. Have a good night.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Jack.
Bye.
Oh, great show, Doc.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
So, Jimmy, we're coming to the end of the show. Let's go over our people that are coming on the new show next week. And we
Okay,
even
now-
have shows in the middle of the week too. So
We do. This month we're jam-packed, which is awesome. We have Beverly Bremers, right? Okay, yeah. I don't want to mess up her name. Beverly Bremers is coming on Monday.
No,
so
Bremers.
Oh, Bremers. Beverly Bremers will be on Monday.
She'll
and
correct you.
She's gonna correct me. But okay, she had a big hit back in the 60s and so many great songs, and we're looking forward to talking with Beverly. Next Wednesday, we also have a very special show with the Munsters. Butch Patrick, Eddie Munster is going to be here hanging out with us. I'm very excited about that. Talk show host, legendary Richard Bay is going to stop by, which is awesome. A good friend of mine. Also, American Idol's Crystal Bowersox will be here. TV star, actress Audrey Landers from Dallas stops by. American Idol's Chloe Chanel. Memphis DJ and program director, my friend Rob Grayson, will stop by. Also, Maggie Brosh stops by. She's a country artist. She's up and coming, and she has some great music out. Also, we have Wesley Walker on the way from the New York Jets. He may be on in a couple of weeks with us. We'll keep you informed about that. Italian singing superstar, my friend Angela Venuto will be here. And also Lucas Prada and Nikki Stringfield from the Iron Maidens, and Femme Fatale. She is a fantastic guitarist, and I'm looking forward to talking with her. So many more great people too on the way. We'll keep you all informed all about that. So,
Absolutely. And guys, thanks for being here, and thanks for being part of this. And I want to say Prince is still watching us, but I want to say I don't know what's going on with Zoom. It happened yesterday with me. I was supposed to have Judy Tenuta on, and I couldn't even get my co-host on. So Zoom is really acting up weird. So unless people request Zoom, I'll use StreamYard. I just, it's just
exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't have a
StreamYard
problem.
seems to work a little bit better for us. Absolutely.
get more people in the chat with Zoom
Uh-huh.
and StreamYard. We didn't get as many people in the chat, but it stays better for everybody to get on. So
Exactly.
might use StreamYard next time, unless they request Zoom. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Well,
Thank you.
Doc, thanks. Great to see you, and we will check you out on
Great
Monday.
to see you, buddy.
Definitely.
You have a good night.
Okay.
Thank you
so much.
Thanks.
Take care,
Bye,
Doc.
everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it.